Alright, we are going to be continuing with generics in Java, and today we are going to start with part 3. And in part 3 we are saying we are going to be looking at bounded generics, and if we have time we look at generic classes. So let's start with bounded generics. As usual in programming, the best way to learn is to start writing it and then explaining it from there. So I'm going to start a new file. So I'm going to create a new file. So I'm going to call it bounded generics demo. So new class. I'm going to call it bounded generics demo. And it's going to have a main method. So just check main here and that'll be fine. Good. In our previous example, we did generics, and just let's go back to see how it looks like. So in generics, we actually specify the generic type in this place called the generic parameter specification, and then we have generic return generic argument t. But here we have void as the return type. Now what we are saying in bounded generics is that we want to specify a generic type that is restricted to certain types. So we are saying that the type specified should be only type that are subclasses of a certain type, right? Good. So let's take the example and it's going to become clearer. And there's a little bit of difference in how to specify bounded generics, as we are going to see in a minute, because in bounded generics we use the extends keyword. So now we are going to write a function that is called getMax. This function called getMax gets the maximum value of 3 items. So getMax function returns the maximum value of 3 items. Good. So if you have these 3 items, let's say you have in the 3 items you have a string, you have an integer, and you have a float. You know there will be a problem. But if you have 3 strings, it will be able to get the maximum based on alphabetical order. If you have 3 integers, if you have 3 strings, so in this case, we are kind of restricted to particular types. So I'm going to copy written out the code. So I'm going to copy a second. So, all right. I actually wrote this code. Just give me a second. Ah, good, fine. So I'm going to take this. This is a bounded generic function. So I'm going to paste it here and then we go from here. So what is happening here? Let's explain. So we have a bounded generic function called getMax. So this is the name of our bounded generic function. If I take out this, you see that we have something similar to what we already know, public static t. And in normal generic, we have only this t without any other thing. So normally we have void as a return type. But in this case, we are using something else. So let's undo. Good. So here we have the bounded generic type here, type parameter, and then we have as well the return type is also the same generic type. So instead of having void or int or whatever, we have the same generic type. Now getMax takes 3 generic arguments or parameters. We have tx, ty, and tz. So this is the function. It compares y to max. If it's greater than, it assigns y as max, and so on. So it simply gets the maximum value from x, y, and z. Okay, let's use this function and then see how it works and see why we say it is bounded. So I'm going to take this. So if I paste this here, now I'm saying maximum for integers is getMax 369, right? So everything is fine. But if I specify, let's say I have in this place, I specify 6.0. So it now complains. The reason is because bounded generics takes the same type of parameter, tx, ty, and tz, and is defined for comparable. So it means that any type of t has to be a subclass of comparable. It has to derive from comparable. And second restriction is that we should have the same type of parameter for the three arguments that are passed in. Okay, so we can have integer here, we can have an integer here, and then have two more strings out there. So if we run this, it's going to work perfectly. And after now, I'm going to give you the rules of of bounded generics. So let me clear this place, and I'm going to run this, and it displays. Oh no, it's running a different program. So let me take out this. So just right click right inside and just say run as Java application, and it returns fine. So 369, we have the maximum to be 9. Elephant, cat, and monkey, we have the maximum in alphabetical order to be monkey. CRY, we have the maximum to be Y, also in alphabetical order. So I'm going to give you the rules of generics right inside here. So I'm going to just copy these rules and paste for you. So I did so just give a second. So just visit my website kindtonthegenius.com. Alright, so bounded generics, so it's somewhere here. So you can always visit my website and get anything you want. So I'm going to look for the rules of bounded generics. It's under how it works. I'm going to copy it out and paste it in here for you. So Control V, fine. Alright, so we have I'm going to put 1. So this is basically explanation of the bounded generic program we just wrote. So take your time to get through it. If you have any challenges on this, just write me a comment below this video, and I'm going to make more clarification. But for now, I hope you understand everything. And if not, just go to my website and go to bounded generics, and then you can read the explanation of bounded generics in Java. Alright, I'm going to stop here, and I'd like to thank you for viewing. Please like this video, please, so that you'll encourage me to make more video. And also subscribe to my channel if you've not subscribed. I remain Kindton the Genius.